Compare the flat, underdeveloped upper back on the left with the thick, highly developed trap density on the right. Conventional wisdom says heavy deadlifts are the key to this thickness. However, the extreme tension of a standard deadlift creates a mechanical disadvantage that often limits the very upper back development you're looking for. This diagram illustrates the problem. Pulling vertical weight straight up forces your shoulder blades into a locked, depressed position. While your traps feel tightly stretched, they're stuck in a mechanical dead zone. Pinned joints immobilize the fibers, preventing the active shortening required for growth. Solving this requires a three-step adjustment. We fix the bar path, free the shoulder joints, and trigger the hypertrophy that traditional pulls suppress. By utilizing the mechanical advantage of the shoulder joints, we can finally move past static tension and start creating active muscle growth. Simply adding more weight to a street bar deadlift won't help if your joints cannot move through their full range. When the barbell is positioned directly in front of your shins, physics dictates that the gravitational force travels in a perfectly straight vertical line. In this 3D model, you can see the traps struggling against that vertical vector. The force is so direct that the muscles are structurally unable to lift the weight or shorten the fibers. Holding a massive weight statically is excellent for grip strength, but it lacks the dynamic squeezing action necessary to recruit high-threshold muscle fibers. For those prioritizing aesthetic upper back development, moving away from traditional powerlifting alignment is a mechanical necessity. The first modification is simple. Replace the straight barbell with heavy dumbbells or a hex bar. Moving the weights to your sides allows you to shift your center of gravity slightly forward. This creates an angled bar path. As you can see, this geometry removes the downward structural lock on your shoulder blades, freeing the joint to move. Instead of dragging weight vertically against your shins, you can now pull along a natural, retracted trajectory. You will need to use less weight than your traditional deadlift. Using ego-driven loads here will only cause you to revert to the same mechanical locks we are trying to avoid. Shifting the center of mass grants your traps the mechanical advantage they need to achieve a full contraction. With the path cleared, we focus on the concentric phase, the part of the lift where the actual growth stimulus happens. The goal is a specific movement. Glide your shoulder blades upward and slightly back toward your ears in one fluid motion. Executing an active, targeted squeeze at the peak of the movement is the priority here, rather than just standing up with the weight. This dynamic elevation is the neurological trigger. It recruits the high threshold fibers that were previously paralyzed by the straight bar's vertical path. Mastering this squeeze moves the exercise away from a passive stretch and focuses the tension on an active, high-intensity contraction. Once you have the movement down, you need to integrate it into your weekly programming for consistent results. The hypertrophy protocol is straightforward, 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. By utilizing moderate weights and avoiding 1-rep max attempts, you prevent the central nervous system burnout common with heavy deadlifts. With less CNS tax, you can safely perform this movement twice weekly for optimal growth signals. Focus entirely on the scapular movement. Heavy weight on the floor is irrelevant if the muscle isn't doing the work. Replacing infrequent static holds with these high-frequency dynamic contractions provides the consistent stimulus required for muscle development. The logic is clear. Move away from the restrictive vertical pull, adjust your alignment, and focus on the dynamic squeeze. This angled bar path shift creates visible muscle expansion at the peak that a standard deadlift simply can't match. Try this angled pull in your next session. You'll feel a targeted muscle pump in the upper traps that straight bar training often misses. Mastering the physics of the joint is the most effective way to move past ego lifting and achieve science-backed hypertrophy.